and a friend of mine was like, "You want to go see Blade?" I'm like, I don't think it's gonna be good. Whatever. I didn't go. And then when it came out on video, I watched it and I was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, how did I not go see this movie in the theater? You know, like it always ticked me off that I lost that chance to see that movie."
I'm curious, why didn't you want to see it in the first place?
I don't know. I was in my weird stage of. I was like my mid-teens weren't good years, so yeah.
And it also didn't help that this was from New Line Cinema at the time.
Mm-hmm.
New Line Cinema released probably one of the worst sequels that I've seen, and I think you know what it is: Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Annihilation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that when it came out on video. Was it direct to video? That one was direct to video. That one.
It actually went out in theaters, but it looked very direct to video that you wouldn't even notice.
Mm-hmm. My friend Mike Cornell, he bought it, or he had it back when VHS costed like a lot of money, and like $30 I think he bought it for. And I watched it once at his house, and since I've never seen it, I've always kind of wanted to go back because I remember it looked cool, but I just don't remember what. Like, I remember watching it, but I don't remember it. So I've always wanted to kind of go back and rewatch it, just for that value of kind of what I remember. But the first one was breathtaking.
Yes, the first one was great, in my opinion. It
Yeah.
still is. And I remember you told me about the story that you had when you saw it, I think?
Yeah.
Like, you went to see it in the theater, right?
Yeah, I went to see that in the theater with the same guy, with Cornell. And I wasn't expecting much because of, Super Mario.
And Street Fighter.
Like, I love Super Mario, but I think I like it for different reasons, because John Leguizamo and
Bob Hoskins.
And Dennis Hopper, and Yoshi. Yoshi was really cool.
Yeah.
And Street Fighter was like, I liked it, but I was expecting more because of Van Damme. I was really expecting more. And Raul Julia, too. I think Raul Julia's performance in that movie is like the best performance. One of the best performances in that movie. And shortly after that, he died. But Mortal Kombat was like, I wasn't expecting, like, the bar was low, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to go in with an open mind, have fun, whatever. As soon as that music kicks in, as soon as everything gets going, like the fight scenes, everything, even the CGI, everything, I was just like, wow, they got it right. Someone finally got it right, Someone finally got a video game movie right. And then, leaving the theater, everybody else talking about it. It was like middle of the day, everybody else talking about it. No matter where you go that summer, there's like Mortal Kombat everywhere. You pass a bar, you hear Mortal Kombat song in the bar. You pass like everywhere, car stereos, everything. So it was really big like that.
Yeah, and I think you commented on my video saying that at one point you would go by the mall and you hear it.
Yeah, you go by the mall, like it's everywhere. Like people be driving by, you hear it, and every kid had that tape, like the cassette.
The cassette, like
or the CD.
soundtrack.
Yeah, like the CDs and cassettes and stuff. It was
CDs and cassettes.
It was big.
Soundtrack, which I actually do own the soundtrack. I actually got this off Amazon.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes.
And like I just remember it being really big, and everybody was talking about it. And even when we went back to school next semester, everybody was still talking about it. They were like, "Did you see that?" And yeah.
That was really big back in the day because, Mortal Kombat was like one of the biggest arcade games at the time.
Oh yeah. I had a neighbor for the while. When I was I think 10 or 11, our house burned down, so we had to move to like the project kind of area for a while, like the hood. So I was like living in the ghetto hood with all these like crazy kids.
I was about to say you moved into the ghetto.
Yeah, like and you know the kids outside would play like even when I remember when I was in grade school, we had a really bad grade school. All the kids were fighting all the time. It was a really bad playground. And then I finally feel like I escaped that, and then I'm brought into this ghetto where now the fighting is real, and all the kids are really fighting, and it was bad. Like I remember when that game came out, a lot of kids were just like playing that in real life outside, and like the fatalities and everything. I had this neighbor, John Rodrigue, and we would go to a video store. He would rent them like over and over and over, and we'd just like, well, from me being in a room with like maybe 10 other kids, I never really got to play all that much, but just sitting there and watching it, it was nuts.
The first time you saw like a fatality, it must have been insane, really.
Yeah, like even like the come here and the uppercuts, and like it was powerful, because you didn't see a lot of that in Nintendo back then, or before that anyway.
Yeah, and it was something revolutionary too, because prior to Mortal Kombat, the only real big fighting game prior to Mortal Kombat, and it's like literally the only competition it had was Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And people were used to seeing Street Fighter 2 with the cartoony look and the regular special moves, but when they saw Mortal Kombat, it's a different like kind of game. It's like you have digitized actors and and lots and lots of violence in it too.
And it was bloody, man.
Yeah.
And like, you can turn off the blood and turn on the blood. And it was very. Man, I like a lot of parents were flipping out over that game when it came out.
Yes.
A lot of parents. It was very gory for those times.
Yeah.
Now we look back at it and we say the graphics were different compared to now, but if you put your mindset back in the 90s, like as a kid seeing those graphics for the first time, it was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, and even so, I still think the digitized graphics have a bit of a charm to them, with the way how they looked and how they were animated.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They looked more realistic.
And when the movie was announced, I can imagine the hype for it was pretty insane because,
it was big.
Yeah, it was big. It was like one of the most anticipated movies of that year, was it?
Yeah, it was summer release, right? Because I'm pretty sure I saw it. There was no snow when I saw it. I'm pretty sure like all summer.
Yeah, it was in the summer of '95.
Yeah.
Obviously, that same year you had Batman Forever, which we talked about, but also Mortal Kombat. Several people were either excited for it or, like you said, like how you were extremely skeptical.
Yeah.
Because of what they did with Street Fighter and Super Mario Brothers. I do kind of enjoy Street Fighter, but on like a guilty pleasure level, because the movie is not a good movie by any means. Like,
me too. I totally. It's a guilty pleasure,
Yeah, but it's definitely not the worst video game movie, Street Fighter. But considering the source material, they could have done so much more. I think Mortal Kombat got that formula right because it was loyal to the game and focused on the tournament, which is what Street Fighter should have done.
That's it. That's it. They really, it was more like the game.
Yeah.
And they did some really amazing things with like animatronics in that at the time.
Yes.
With like Goro, and August 18th, 1995. Yeah, 95. Yeah, so it was the summertime. Because I remember kids talking about it before the end of the school year, and I remember kids talking about it the next school year. It was definitely up there. Like, it was a big movie for that year.
Yes.
Yeah. And, like, I remember, like, what was it? I want to say 2010. I'm not sure. You know when they released that trailer for, like, the rebooted Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
With Michael J. White?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Rebirth.
Yeah. I remember watching that first initial one, and I thought it was a cool way to go. But it kind of confused me that I felt like the series, when it came out, it kind of like had a missed continuity. Maybe it's just me, or it just didn't
it's
feel.
not just you. I kind of felt that way. It kind of felt inconsistent with the tone at times.
Yeah.
Like, 1 minute it feels like a crime drama, the next minute it feels like fantasy, the next minute it feels like a psychological thriller or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know. Some of the characters, I want to say, felt changed. You know, like
the season 2 they definitely changed. They changed Liu Kang.
Yeah, I haven't watched season 2 yet.
But yeah, don't watch season 2.
Don't watch. How about that Street Fighter series that was supposed to come out?
The Street Fighter series is actually really good. Actually,
yeah,
I saw it. I actually owned the Blu-ray DVD for it, and it's actually really good. It's very loyal to the game. It's not it's an origin story, so it's not a fighting, but the fighting in there is good, and it focuses on Ryu and Ken, which they're the main characters of the game, which the movie should have focused on them, but for some reason, because of Jean-Claude Van Damme, the movie focused on Guile.
Yeah, Van Damme. Did he have any writing credit in that? Did he like?
I don't know if he did, but I vaguely remember this. One time, someone said that one of the originally there was a focus on Ryu and Ken, but due to Van Damme stepping in, they decided to focus more on him.
Wow. It would have been cool to see, Van Damme in a different role than Guile. I kind of felt like they took, like, it went the other way, completely the other way.
And according to some people, Van Damme was written in mind from the get-go for Guile. Yeah, obviously, they wanted Street Fighter to be a big movie, so they had to get probably the biggest action hero at that time, besides Arnold and Stallone, of course.
Can you imagine them in there?
Oh no,
Zangief and damn.
Which is kind of funny because what we described about Van Damme having an effect on the Street Fighter, that's exactly what happened with Stallone and Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah. I was pissed. When I went to Orlando, they had when I was in my hotel, right, and they had the TV there is different. Like, you turn on TV and they have like one channel that has all the other channels on it, kind of like a guide channel, but you have to wait for it to move up. And then they have another channel that is strictly park related, all the stuff from the park, right? So yeah. I'm watching that channel, and they start showing Planet Hollywood, right? Because I was going to go to Planet Hollywood, and they start showing the memorabilia they have, and they show this big container with Sly's Judge Dredd uniform in it, like his actual wardrobe from the movie. I'm like, all right, let's go. So we go over there, and there's no fucking Judge Dredd. There's the plaque on the wall where it used to be, and it's gone, and now it's replaced by Arnold Schwarzenegger's jacket, I think, from True Lies. And I was like, damn.